be here at the virtual MIF. A little bit strange, but very glad to have to be here with everyone else. Of course, cautionary statement to be wary with all your investments. For those of you who know about this company, have a bit of history with this company, we have a project up in Nunavut that we love very much. It's a copper and zinc story, high grade, but copper and zinc in the Arctic is not a great story for the market these days. And of course, with COVID, I think working in the Arctic is going to be a bit tricky for the next year. We're happy, very, very, very happy to have this other project. This is our Blue Ridge project in Virginia. Again, it is gold, the kind of deposits that we're looking for. Carolina slate belt type. Hale is the classic example. It's located just about 200 miles to the southwest of us. That's more of a low grade, disseminated gold vein swarms of gold quartz vein swarms, but can be very large, and you can develop a lot of tons there. The other type of gold deposit we have here are the classic Virginia pyrite belt type gold. This is where the majority of the historic work has been done, most pre-1850. There also is a copper, zinc, and cobalt and gold in some sort of polymetallic SEDEX, VMS, sediment-hosted style of deposits. And I think that one of the real big things to note about this company, what we have here, all our Blue Ridge properties, we've really acquired, came along with the acquisition of Don Taylor's privately held company. Don Taylor, former CEO and COO of Arizona Mining, a proven mine finder. And, this was his other company. This is really where his heart was. And we're very happy to be advancing his projects and with him, with Don Taylor coming on to direct that exploration for us. So just a bit more about the Blue Ridge. It is it's a historic mining district. People have forgotten about Virginia as a mining region. Prior to 1850, prior to the California Gold Rush, it was the most notable gold mining region in the United States. It really is a gold mining region. It's unfortunately been reduced to these roadside plaques, but there's a lot of gold here. With Aston Bay, we've made a new discovery. This is our Buckingham Gold project, and we have two styles of mineralization here. High-grade gold at the surface. Again, you can see some of those intercepts that we've hit. Almost 2 ounces over 2 meters. Over an ounce over 2 meters. Almost 2 ounces over 1.4 meters. Absolutely fantastic to have that coming right to the surface. We have at the surface about 150 meters strike length that we know about for sure, and we're working on expanding that. In addition to the high-grade gold veins, we also have what you might call Hale-style disseminated gold. It's not exactly Hale. No two deposits are exactly the same, but you can see in one of the holes from our drilling last year, we hit a couple of nice zones. These are both in the same hole, so you have a total of about 40 meters of about 2 grams per ton. In disseminated gold mineralization. Very attractive. You can. It's easy to. You can develop tons and ounces fairly quickly if you can find enough of that. And I'll be getting to it later. We do have a bit of new information on that. We have a better idea of how that disseminated gold sits structurally, and it's actually looking quite favorable for us. Again, some polymetallic belts here as well, but we're not going to do anything with that right now. Our main focus is on the gold. And again, why Virginia? It's a fantastic jurisdiction to operate in. It's what they call a fee simple jurisdiction. So that means if you own the land or if you have a deal with the private landowner, there's no permitting required for exploration or drilling. That allows us to act quickly and really get out there and get work done. The private land you want to be working on, the best partner here is is the timber companies. You know, that you have large tracts of land. They're in the resource extraction game. They're great partners to be. So you want to be on that kind of private land. And that's the partners that we have with Aston Bay. Of course, in Virginia, no seasonality. You can drill year round. Gold. Eric made it very clear, gold is where you want to be right now. And as Eric indicated, you know, very little modern exploration. You have to, remember 1850, they didn't have the kinds of exploration techniques we have today, geochemistry, geophysics, even things like drilling. They just didn't have that. And that is really an opportunity for us. And of course, Don Taylor helping us here. He has the relationships and the experience in this area. He's been working here on the East Coast since the 90s, and he's a great asset, great advantage to us here in Virginia with Aston Bay. So what we've signed here, the deals that we have in Virginia, we signed some agreements with some timber companies. We have over 11,000 acres. We're focusing on 3 areas right now. I've already touched on our Buckingham Gold property. We have almost 5,000 acres that we're working on there, expanding on that new discovery. We're also interested in working on some of the historic Virginia Gold Belt properties. Again, brownfields projects. These are areas that have been worked pre-1850, but again, with very little modern exploration. We know there's gold there, so we have significant along strike and down dip exploration potential, and that's really part 2 of what we're doing here in Virginia. The polymetallic copper zinc stuff we will keep in our toolbox for now, and we'll pull that out when the market is interested in hearing about that. So just a quick overview of our Buckingham Gold project. This is where we're doing all our work right now. Again, high-grade gold at the surface, grab samples, 20 ounces per ton, of course, select grabs. But in the drilling, our drill program last year, in terms of the quartz veins, again, just recapping some of those intercepts. We drilled 6 holes last year. All the holes hit significant gold. You can see in the vein style, again, almost an ounce over 3 meters. We also hit some the disseminated gold, the hail style, and it is open along strike and at depth. And our plan right now is to continue drilling this through 2020. As Eric mentioned, we were able to start a drill program early in March of this year. We drilled over 1,200 meters in 10 diamond drill holes. That effectively doubled the number of holes drilled on this property. We extended the drill zone by 100 meters. The drill program, essentially, we drilled 2 infill holes, really to confirm continuity on the end of our known strike length of drilling. And we also drilled 8 step out and step back holes. And the idea there was to, of course, expand along strike on the step out holes. And the step back holes, essentially what we're doing there is drilling underneath some of these step out holes just to get the ability to expand our knowledge of what's going on at depth. And as we stated in a couple of news releases we've put out, we're pretty visually able to say that the current drilling has intersected veining and alteration similar to that that we hit last year. And I think if we can put out another set of results similar to what we did last year, but making the zone, our vein zone both longer and deeper, I think this should be cheered by the market. Now, of course, we did have to pause on March 23rd, pause our drill program due to the COVID situation down there. There is a stay-at-home order in the state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, as they say. But we've been lucky enough, actually, one of our geos, the core shack is actually his garage, so we're able to continue to work on processing those 1,200 meters that we do have in the box. That processing it's slow. We only have one guy doing it, but it is ongoing, and we do expect to have some drill results out within the next month or so. We can get that core to the market, or get that core to the assay labs, and then release that we think into what should be a very receptive market, perhaps one that doesn't have too many new discovery stories out. So that should be well received. Over the last 6 months or so, we've been doing a very extensive soil sampling program to try to expand on our Buckingham drill zone. If you look here, you can see quite small on this map. You can see the zone of drilling. That's about 150 meters there. That's our main Buckingham zone. All of these soil sample results are brand new. We did over 1,300 soil samples, and we got some very significant results, up to 1.75 grams per ton gold in soil. That's let me tell you, that's a screaming gold in soil number. Let's just zoom in and take a look at this Buckingham zone, and you can see a very nice interpreted anomaly here, suggesting that this vein zone that we've been drilling on perhaps extends significantly larger. Again, this is about 600 meters in length, this anomaly as it's on this map. We think this could extend significantly further at depth as well. There's a few other anomalies on here. Overall, what we have, though, is a very well-defined, it's a very discrete anomaly, 25 ppb and higher of a gold in soil anomaly. It's about 1 by 1.8 kilometer immediately around this Buckingham main zone. In addition to the vein zone in the northwestern portion of our drilling here in the drilling last year, this is where we hit our disseminated mineralization. Now, we were able to do some oriented drill core looking at that disseminated zone. We were able to determine that the regional trend and the actual strike and dip of that the zone that contains the disseminated mineralization is actually almost roughly northeast striking and dips very moderately off to the east. That's quite attractive for us. If you have a 40-meter zone of mineralization, if it's dipping shallowly, and we think it potentially daylights if you follow it up dip. These could be zones of this disseminated mineralization daylighting at the surface. So we think it has some significant lateral extents. And then, of course, off to the east, it would continue potentially under surface. In addition to the broader zone, we have a new zone of a very quite a discrete but very large northeasterly trending anomaly. It's over a kilometer long. The most northernmost anomaly, 1.7 grams per ton gold. Again, open to the northeast. That's a screaming gold number. We have a lot of work to do, follow-up work on this, and we're also in some negotiations to perhaps increase our land package here. You can see some of our anomalies do end in. We are quite anomalous at the end of our line, and we're going to want to expand on that with future work over the coming days here. So let's recap. Why do we want to be in Virginia? We have a high-grade gold discovery at the surface. The market seems to, as Eric was saying, this is what we're looking for. We're open along strike and at depth. We're within a significantly large gold anomaly. We have some new gold and soil anomalies that have just been discovered and demand follow-up. It's a great jurisdiction where no permits are required to drill, and we can really act quickly here. So really, the next steps, I could talk a lot about. We are going to do more geochemistry. We are going to potentially do some geophysics. We're going to follow up on some of these soil anomalies, but really what we're going to do here is drill. So we are very excited to get back once this situation is over and continue drilling and expanding on this.